Tonight on Inside Story.
What?
The little girl
I'm 17.
who's never grown up.
From the age of 10, I haven't grown, not at all.
There's no cure for it.
She's never known what it's like to not be in pain.
I just want to look like everyone else.
But that won't stop Keely Johnson.
She's saying, yes, I have a cancer, but I'm going to do my bit.
I plan to raise $1 million by the end of 2016.
The Golden Girl, a teenage warrior in the battle against kids' cancer.
I think Keely Johnson has a huge future.
Thank you so much. I think I'm a bit of a cat with 9 lives.
Hello, I'm Layla McKinnon. Welcome to Inside Story. Physically, Keely Johnson stopped growing when she was 10 years old. But as her friends and family keep saying, her heart is as big as Texas. It sure is. Keely has a rare and incurable form of cancer. But at 17, she's also had a #1 hit on the country music charts and won the hearts of fans across Australia. But more importantly, she's a terrific role model, giving love and hope to kids with cancer everywhere.
She amazes me, you know, like, she is inspiring, what do you say, brave?
She's always been a little bit of a spark. Keely's always sort of lit up a room when she's come into it.
We're the girls from the bush and we're back in town.
You don't really compare her to anything else. You just go, well, that's Keely, and she's just fun-sized.
Keely's always sung from a little age. Sung in the back of the car, sung to Lee Kernaghan songs when she was little.
To be something in the water.
She's a beautiful kid.
Be something in the air.
The beauty starts from within, you know, and it just shines out, and I think everybody who meets her experiences that beauty and that spirit.
I'm Keely Johnson. I live in beautiful far north Queensland. I may be little, but I have big dreams, and this is my story. My home is in the Canevilles, and it's near Ayr, and I absolutely love it here. Hey guys, it's Keely. I've got scones.
You're an angel.
These go. I'm 17 and I'm nearly 18 later this year, and I don't look it because I've got no hormones.
Oh, can I take 2?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
From the age of 10, I haven't grown, not at all.
She's been through a lot. I don't know how she does it. She's kind to everyone. I don't know where she gets it from.
Dad.
From Dad. If you didn't know Keely was 17 years old, you'd think she's just a happy, vibrant 10 or 11-year-old kid, you know. But she's not.
It's hard for any kid to hear the words, and even for their parents, that their child or you have cancer.
There's no cure for it, and you've got to keep on monitoring it for the rest of their life.
I guess I try not to think that I've got a sick kid. And, you know, you just do what you got to do. That's what you do.
You know, I find myself lucky compared to other kids. I don't want to sit around feeling sorry for myself. I want to help other kids with cancer. I've started my own charity and I want to raise $1 million by the end of this year. And I'm getting some amazing support.
We're 102.3, full TOFM as you're waking up in Townsville City. Have a most magnificent day. Hello, my darling.
Our local radio star, Steve Price, has been great. He helps promote my charity all the time. He's so awesome. Thank you.
Why don't you give up? Why don't you just say, oh, look, look after myself?
Oh, because, you know, other kids don't have a voice, you know. Everyone with cancer need a voice, but especially the kids. The kids are our future.
They are. She's speaking from the heart, basically saying, yes, I have a cancer, but life goes on and I'm going to help and I'm going to do my bit. You know, How good's that?
She loves Lee. She thinks he's absolutely fantastic, and Lee is now an ambassador for Keely's charity.
Lee's my childhood hero, so getting him involved with the charity has been fantastic. Thanks to Lee, I got to perform at Tamworth. It was the most amazing experience I could ever ask for.
I was very, very proud to be a part of it all. It's never about her. It's always about what she can do for other people, and I think she's got so much to give, and I think we're lucky to have her.
My mum and dad gave me everything. You know, they've worked their butts off to give me everything, you know. I never missed out on a thing. But I think I probably did miss out on, you know, being normal. Mum, look.
I'm a registered nurse, had been nursing for probably 25 years, but haven't worked for the last couple of years since Keely's been unwell.
I work away in a mine, and I enjoy that type of work. You know, I fly away and I work, and I come home and keep the farm going. It is very much a day at a time at the moment, and week by week and month by month. And it's about Keely and what Keely wants.
It has been really tough for Keely. What people don't realise is that she survived not one but 2 serious diseases in her short life.
She's never known what it's like to not be in pain. But yeah, she's just a tough little nut because of it.
Keely. Keely was a healthy baby, and there didn't seem to be any issues with her.
G'day.
As time progressed, Kathy noticed that she was thrashing around in bed a lot, and if she'd go outside and play, she'd grab the back of her head and say that her head was banging.
They found that she had an anal carrier malformation, which is a funny shaped growth that is developed when they're developing, that cuts off the flow of spinal fluid, so it's an emergency surgery.
I couldn't play on playgrounds, or I couldn't do anything like that, because if I hit the back of my head, I can easily die.
Keely had a first trip to hospital at 4.5, and at 6 she had another operation which basically saved her life. So she'd beaten that, but little did we know there was an even bigger challenge just around the corner.
Inspirational, irrepressible, just amazing. That's Keely Johnson. You'd never know she's in constant pain, that she's spent so much of her life in hospital. In fact, by the age of 6, she'd already survived one dreadful disease. But even worse was still to come.
I've always thought of Keely as a warrior, because a warrior is someone who's really tough and brave and is just a fighter, no matter what situation is thrown at her. Just a bubbly warrior. She's a happy warrior.
No, she doesn't complain a lot. She gets tired, she gets lethargic, but she'll have a camp and then bounce back an hour later, and you wouldn't think there's too much wrong with her. She's got a heart as big as Texas.
Keely stopped growing around 10, but I didn't really take any notice of it. But then when she started to go at 13.5 years and hadn't started to develop into puberty, I started to think something's not right here. So that at 13.5 is when we got her scanned, and they discovered a tumour in her pituitary stalk, which is the part of the brain that creates all your hormones.
I thought the world was going to end. And then, you know, we still had more scans and tests to try and get a diagnosis, and we didn't.
I spent every waking hour trying to find out answers, and they reckon a mother of a child with cancer does more research than the FBI, and I think that's right.
Once Kathy gets her teeth into something, then you can't stop her.
Right.
I discovered Dr. McLean as a world-leading expert on one of the conditions that she possibly could have had, and I decided to take her to America to see Dr. McLean.
I think Kathy was like a lot of parents who are desperate to get answers for their children when they're confronted with a rare disease. Langerhans cell histiocytosis is a form of cancer that affects approximately 5 to 8 children per million. The problem that Keely has of looking like a young child and not having grown since she was age 10 results from problems with the front part of the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is a bean-shaped object in the lower part of our brains that controls the thyroid and other hormones which are necessary for our growth and development.
Without having those major hormones, a person's life expectancy is shortened. With Keely, our biggest concern for her is if she gets sick or unwell from anything at all, we could lose her with that.
Well, that's awesome.
I think it's an incredibly difficult life for Keely to be so far behind in her growth and development when all of her peers are obviously becoming young women.
Oh, look, happiness is a best friend.
I first met Keely when we were in primary school. We would have been about maybe 5. She's more than a friend to me. She's like a sister to me.
We should plan a trip. Like when we're older.
When I realised that she had cancer is when I actually understood why she was always smaller than me. I thought she was just a normal girl. I didn't see anything wrong with her.
She copped a bit of a hard time at school.
The boys especially would bully her just because she didn't have that kind of figure that girls by the time that they're 17 normally do.
I remember this one time I got threatened to shove down a drain pipe. Another person said that I looked like a surfboard because I had no boobs, and I came home crying, and I remember saying, "Mum, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back there," so she put me in distance ed, and I have the most amazing teachers and amazing friends there, and I love it.
Keely thinks, why are all these girls interested in boys?
Because her hormones were knocked out at such a young age, she never developed that puberty, wanting to have a boyfriend and all that type of thing. So young girls were all talking about boyfriends and this and that, and she's just going, not interested.
Unless they're, out in the paddock with the bulls or the horses, then they're of no interest to her.
I'm not really interested in boys, they're kind of gross looking. Except my dad. I love my dad. I'm country and I'm traditional, so when the time's right I'll be interested, but just not at the moment. I want to help the kids more important than boyfriends.
Like any 17-year-old, Keely Johnson has her idols. First, her mum and dad. And being a kid from the country, it's no surprise that the king of country, Lee Kernaghan's her hero. But then there's someone else, someone totally unexpected. A little boy called Declan, her angel, who inspired her most of all.
Keely had 60 rounds of chemo, which was a year, and I don't think our outcome would be as good now if we hadn't.
I hated it, absolutely hated it, because it was a room that was squished and tiny, and it was like you were in a jail cell. And all I wanted to do was drive around on the farm. I met Declan in 2013. It was the 14th of July. And I said to Mum, well, who's that little boy over there? He looks really nice. And I went over there and I started talking about, life on the farm. And then all of a sudden I saw a wheelchair next to his bed and I said, who's the wheelchair for? And he said, me.
Declan was a kid who liked to get up to a fair bit of mischief, had a quirky sense of humour.
Nothing sort of seemed to bother him at all. Bit of a prankster. Loved the jokes and, I just love life, basically.
I think he was an angel, but he was on wheels. He had white hair and he had blue eyes and he had white skin here. I swear he was an angel on earth.
It was May 2012. Declan was 8 and he came home from school one day and it was a Monday and he said, I fell over at school today, Mum, and I hurt my back. And then from that day on, he would wake up every night crying how sore his back was. Basically, no chance of survival or very, very minimal, very low percentage. So, yeah, your whole world falls apart in that little office.
It is interesting, your thought process of how will change that statistic or will change that outcome. So it's quite interesting how you fight like hell.
And then Keely came along and it's like a little tornado. Yeah, her and Declan became mates and she'd say to Declan, if those nurses are giving you trouble, let me know.
When Keely was in hospital, she came up with a great idea to highlight childhood cancer, and that was to paint Australia gold, because gold is the colour of childhood cancer.
They decided that they would write the letter to the Premier, and they wanted to get every Parliament House lit up in gold and their bridges as well.
The Queensland Premier came back with a yes, that he was going to light Parliament House gold, and we were absolutely thrilled.
And then they lit gold for Declan and I.
Declan never got to see it lit up because he'd already passed away. So we always say that he saw it from a different viewpoint.
He died quite quickly, and looking back now, I'm glad that it wasn't prolonged.
I remember when he was slowly passing away, I said, you know, when you go to heaven, you've got to kick around a soccer ball again, you've got to get your legs back. And then the next day in the clouds, there was a boy kicking a soccer ball. Kids don't play in playgrounds anymore, just hospital corridors. A year after Declan died, I wrote a song called Turn This to Gold. It's actually about kids with cancer, and every line was inspired by a different child with cancer.
Well, I was doing a show in Townsville, and there was this young girl, Keely Johnson, that wanted to talk to me about doing a duet.
Oh, he's my hero. He's sort of like a girl's Superman to me.
And I said, Keely, show me the song that you've written, and it had such a positive message, you know, about kids with cancer and inspiring them to keep going. And I told Keely there and then that, yes, I'll record a duet with you. I'm in.
On the day, I think I was really nervous. Like, I was shaking, and then he walked in and he's like cool as a cucumber, and I was like a shivering mess. Kids don't play in playgrounds anymore, just hospital corridors.
She was absolute professional, and we cut a duet. We made music together.
And I want to be the one true joy in your life. I'm gonna turn this to gold.
The song went to #1 on country iTunes, and it stayed there for a week, which was just amazing. And Keely always wanted to give the money back to the kids, so every cent raised from her song went back to Make-A-Wish Australia. They just formed this bond. After that, they just became mates.
He'll ring Keely out of the blue, or talk to her on Instagram or Facebook or whatever those computer things are, and the difference that phone call makes is unbelievable. I don't think he knows what a difference he made.
Darling.
Good to see you.
Great to see you.
This is my nana.
Can I give you a hug
You
too?
sure can. I tell you what, I can see the good looks runs in the family.
And my pop.
So, Keely, I am really looking forward to seeing you, because next time we meet, you know where it's going to be?
Tamworth.
Country music capital.
Yep,
and you're in.
absolutely.
You're going to be
Awesome.
singing.
Thank you.
Great. Love you, mate.
Love you too.
No wonder Keely's called the Golden Girl. Not only did she manage to light up Brisbane, she has plans to paint the other capitals gold as well. Then there's her charity Golden Octopus and its $1 million target. And finally, she has some big dreams for herself.
We've got it under control, but the sad truth is that Keely will always have her cancer, and we just have to make sure we monitor it so that it doesn't spread.
Okay.
Perfect. Every 3 months, I have an MRI scan to check on the tumour.
The good news is, though, Keely started a growth hormone 2 days ago, and what we're hoping for is to get a little bit of height. She wanted to be able to see over the bonnet of her ute.
I'll have growth hormone and estrogen for the rest of my life. I think I'm just over being small. I want to grow and I just want to feel normal again. It's just, you know, I'm over it. You know, I want to look like everyone else. Jonesy called me a tough old Sheila.
Tough old Sheila.
Yeah, tough. It's hard for my parents paying $1,500 a month for growth hormone. They don't even have that money there for it. Eilana's gonna run. Yeah. Hi, beautiful. How are you feeling? My little friend Darcy is only 6 and I'm so attached to her. She's got cancer just like myself and she's absolutely amazing. The Golden Octopus charity was set up by myself. I'm the founder and Lee Kernaghan's the ambassador. And there's not one childhood cancer charity that helps all the kids. So I wanted to help all the kids and I plan to raise $1 million by the end of 2016. What do you think of that one?
I really like that one.
See, this one's like Lee Kernaghan. And I do sing with Lee.
I like Carl.
I don't know. Which one should I go for? We're going to be here all day. I just live day by day and, you know, yesterday's in the rubbish, today's the future. Go with black.
Rightio.
Keely just gets on with life. Every day is a new day and a new adventure.
Thanks to Lee, I got to perform at Tamworth. It was the most amazing experience I could ever ask for. Whoa, the man in the hat. I wrote the song Man in the Hat while I was on chemo because Lee's always so kind to others. He's there for us all. And I just wanted to write his story.
I've never had a song written about me before. She says a lot of good things in it. I wear a size 57 Akubra hat. I think pretty soon I'm going to have to get a size 58 or a 59.
It's just phenomenal. You know, the biggest names of artists in country music here tonight. The McClymans, the Lee Kernaghan. I mean, I'm a baby compared to them.
Here tonight, in the park, Keely Johnson!
My only wish was to sing for the kids. He helped me the same as he always did. Singing Man in the Hat in front of tens of thousands of people was absolutely amazing, and telling Lee's story was just incredible. He's really changed my life. If I can be like him, I'll stand proud and tall.
She is a real giver, and it's great to see Australia giving some love back to Keely Johnson because she deserves it.
Life is like a rodeo that ride can throw you around.
I'm afraid of passing away, but I don't think I will. I think I'm too positive. And, you know, when your number's up, your number's up, but I plan to leave a legacy on this world, and, you know, I think I'm a bit of a cat with 9 lives.